Hello and welcome to Working with Groups of Learners, a faculty development workshop from the Montana State University Billings e-learning team. This is Part 2, Tips for the Intermediate and Advanced Instructor. In Part 1, we covered why group work is important and how to get started with using groups in the classroom. But before we dive into theory, let's hear more from Dr. Melissa Beam on her experiences with groups of learners.
I would say that I have worked with groups a lot in my classes, and sometimes they work really, really well and it's exciting and everything's going perfectly, and other times they don't. And that's okay. I think as long as you're reflective as an instructor and try to think about what you could have done better, and also ask the students and say, this didn't work quite well today. What do you all think we could have done better as a class, me as an instructor, you as a student, to improve the way that we met our outcomes for the day? And I think when you keep that transparency, when you ask the students for their thoughts, it really helps to keep the classroom environment comfortable and helps us all be reflective, and it increases the chances of having a better group experience in the future.
We spoke about collaboration, but now let's define it and dig in deeper. According to scholarly journals and Merriam-Webster's dictionary, collaboration is learning or work that is accomplished through an interactive process leading towards a common goal, either internally or externally, to work jointly with others or together, especially in an intellectual endeavor. In order for effective collaboration to happen, the individuals that form these groups must communicate effectively with one another. Therefore, collaborative tasks essentially become exercises for developing communication skills. One of the most well-known theories involving group work is collaboration theory. It tells us that collaboration is imperative in life. Whether playing baseball, working in the office, or merely buying groceries, we must interact with others to achieve our desired goals. Collaboration is known by many names: group work, teamwork, partnership, joining forces, pooling resources, the list goes on and on. Collaboration is a journey, not a destination. This means that learning should be happening along the way, not just a focus on an end goal. Collaboration is both personal and procedural. Successful group work depends on positive personal relations and effective emotional connections between partners. Trust must be developed. Groups are successful when members connect personally and emotionally with their shared group purpose and with each other. And finally, collaboration is developed in stages. In essence, what collaboration theory is saying is that by collaborating, individuals can share knowledge and assign tasks to achieve a common group goal. Let's take a closer look at the stages. First, assemble and form, where the initial vision and mission are discussed. Storm and order, where roles and tasks are determined, individual member objectives are assigned, and means of communication and group platform are selected. Norm and perform, where work towards group objectives occurs in a continuous feedback cycle. And transform and adjourn, where final evaluations, assessments, and strategies for the future are discussed. Finally, we have Petersons' 3 C's for successful groups, a 3-point continuum of interaction. With coordination, individuals align activities or events that support the desired group outcome. With cooperation, individuals share important information with each other that supports the desired group outcome. And for collaboration, individuals must give up some degree of their own independence in an effort to realize the shared group goal. All of the suggestions in this workshop, whether assigning group roles or providing a communication platform, fall under one of these 3 C's. Now, let's say you've created and implemented the groups, you've followed all the rules, all the suggestions, and you're still having trouble creating a meaningful learning experience. What do you do now? Here are a few more tips from Dr. Cindy Dell, professor and chair of the College of Education. You can always incentivize collaboration. Grades for group work should be tied to each member's individual level of participation. A great way to do this is with peer assessment. Have group members grade each other on a rubric. This is the best way to determine who did what. Also consider using fun tools like D2L awards. Dole out congrats for great group discussions or high-achieving group members. Also, remember to stay in continuous communication with the groups. Yes, they are individual units, but still need direction, so be there, stay involved. You can create stronger instructional presence online by using class announcements, sending regular emails, and providing robust discussion forums. Let's hear one last time from Dr. Melissa Beam, this time on how to reinvigorate group work in your class.
So what I do sometimes when any of my course materials seem to be stale or not working the way that I want them to is I'll go back to the learning outcomes and I'll think about a different way to meet those outcomes and try maybe a new design on the project, a new design on the group activity. I'll also ask my colleagues, I'll explain to them the issue that I'm having and ask for their feedback. Another thing you can do is you can ask the folks in e-learning for help. You can ask an instructional designer to help reinvigorate your class materials, and that has always helped me. I think if it starts to feel stale to you, then I'm sure it's going to feel stale to the students. So you're going to want to not just hope it gets better, but change it up. So when I was at Ohio University in my graduate program, I got a book called Tools for Teaching by Barbara Gross Davis. And I actually had the first edition, but someone gifted me a second edition. And this is a really good book that sometimes I'll just leaf through that gives me some ideas on how to change up what I'm doing in the classroom. And I'm kind of a print person, so I still like this, but electronic versions I'm sure are fine as well. And then I have this other book. This is Classroom Assessment Techniques by Angelo and Cross. And this was another book that was recommended to me actually by a Center for Teaching and Learning, and it was given to me when I finished up graduate school. And this has tons of ideas on how to assess what's going on in the classroom, and it can work for online classes and in-person classes equally effectively. And so this is what I turn to, and I think, gosh, this feels stale. I need some help figuring this out. What could I do? And so that's what I'll do if I need some new ways to think about teaching. Another thing that I'll do is I talk with my colleagues and I ask them what's going well, what isn't going well, and I try to learn from their mistakes. I certainly learn from my mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes, but I try to not make the same mistakes again. And I would say also thinking about the resources here on campus. We have the Center for E-Learning, and that has a lot of great folks in there that I will go to and ask them for help. Sometimes they'll have workshops, and I try to go to any workshops that are available here on campus for teaching, because there's always really great ideas out there, and there's excellent teaching going on here at MSU Billings.
Thanks for watching, and good luck.